Good afternoon and welcome back to another vlog. In today's vlog, we have a few things happening. We've already been really busy in the morning. That's why I'm filming in the afternoon. I think it's 12:30. We had some friends over. They've already gone now shopping. We have a friend from Abu Dhabi, or a friend of a friend who's come to Sweden for just a couple of days. And we are showing him around. They're coming over for dinner, so I will film all of that. But I wanted to pop by here and just say welcome. Those of you who don't know, my name is Shalika Marker. I am a Sri Lankan living here in Sweden, Scandinavia, and I vlog on the weekends my life here. Enjoy this kind of video. Please give it a thumbs up, stick around, subscribe to my channel, and let's get on with today's vlog. The first thing we're going to be doing in this vlog, which I'm really excited about, is putting in the finishing touches to my Christmas decorations. I have been decorating the house and doing all the big things like putting up the garland and the Christmas trees. Today we are going to be using some of the things that I bought from Temu, which is an online site. I did a haul. If you missed that video, I'll leave a link in the description box below. And some of the things that I bought for Black Friday to create a sort of details in around the house to make everything cozy and welcoming for everyone who comes in to my home. We've got to go to church. Now, we're not going to go to our regular church. We're going to go to a place called Kyrkan, which is very close to where I live. I had a young boy who was in my school before. I think he's the same age as my youngest son, so they're 6 years old, and he's singing in the church choir, and he requested that I come along, so I am making the effort, and we are going to go there. So that's between 1 and 2. I don't know how much of it I can vlog. But I hope you stick around, and then we're going to be making a dinner for our friends. They're going to come back. We're going to be having a very typically Swedish meal. We're going to have something called raggmunkar, which is pancake made from potatoes. We're going to have that as a starter. Then we're going to have something called pyttipanna, which I'm not going to be making. They make really good ones frozen, so I'm going to buy that, and you serve it with eggs and bacon. And then we're going to end off the meal with an ostkaka, which is a cheesecake, but it is not the type of cheesecake that you're thinking about. So stay tuned to the very end so that you can see all the food that we make today. So let's get on with the details. That I want to do some of them now, and then we're going to go to church and come back and do some of them after that, because that's just how life works here in my home anyway, in Sweden, Scandinavia. So let's start in the hall. I wanted to add some hangers up here just because during the winter time we have lots of coats and it's easy for people when they come in. My thought was a battery operated candle in that wreath just to see how it looked. And I'm also loving the wreath on the red door. I've never done this before. I've been in this house for 10 years, but it looks stunning. And then I want to cover up the string that you see here with a red ribbon. So let's start with some hangers. Now in hindsight, I should have put all white hangers, but it's fine. And let's just add in a ribbon. Now this is the ribbon I got from Temu. And I just thought I would just hang it up there, and it would be an easy way to cover the ugly string that's hanging up there. It worked out perfectly. Now let's add in the candle. It was proving a little difficult to do with one hand, but I got it there, and look at it. It looks just absolutely stunning. So I find that everything in the hall has been decked out. It's looking perfect. All the finishing touches added in a cushion so that everybody would be comfortable when they sat down to put on their shoes. The wreath on the mirror, although I have two wreaths going on in that space, it doesn't fight against each other. And these bells I picked up at a charity store here in Sweden. I love going to the charity store here in Sweden. You pick up really great finds. Then I wanted to just obviously hoover and get everything cleaned up. Now let's move on to the console. As you can see, most of the console has been decorated and decked out, but I wanted to add my stockings. Now this is what I've done. I've hung two command hooks upside down. I've done this for a few years now, and then I hang these exquisite stockings that my mother made for my two sons. This is a cross-stitch pattern. She has unbelievable patience when it comes to these things. I have absolutely none. So they are just so precious, so darling, and I have them up every single year. Now in my home here in Sweden, we don't have a fireplace or a mantle where I can have my stockings, so I had to get creative, and obviously I want these stockings to be up and front and center so that everybody sees them. So this was the option that I went for a few years ago, and I absolutely love it, and I think it looks really, really great, and everybody comes in. It's a talking piece in my home. Just to add in a little bit more red, I thought I would tie the same ribbon onto this bell. It's really flowy, so I just had it lying on the table, and it looks very festive and very pretty. And then the bowl of Ferrero Rochers, just so that anyone can pick up a chocolate on their way out if they so wished. The front console was decked out, so I wanted to add in some more sweets onto my tiered tray. This was a gift from the gentleman who was here from Abu Dhabi. It was so beautifully packed. I mean, it's unbelievable. I wanted to put a few of these out, but they had green and red. It was so festive, very, very beautiful. And look at this. This is all hand painted, I think. I'm not really sure, but the details was so beautiful, very festive, very Christmas, and I did try them and they were delicious. So I added some of those onto my tray, and then these are some of the very traditional Swedish fudge. That was pear and cognac. We've got some gingerbread cookies, and we've got some knäck, which is a very Swedish Christmas sweet to have. It's almost like a cola fudge. So I'm going to add this onto my coffee table. I like to have this around when we are entertaining and I have guests over if they wanted to pick up a little snack or a little sweet. We do eat a lot of sweets during Christmas time here in Sweden. And then finally into the sitting room, and before we go to church, I wanted to add this little box I bought also at the charity store. It's holding all of my controls for all the candles that I have. I have a lot of battery operated candles, so I wanted to have that accessible. So once church was done, we walked to the supermarket. As you can see, my son is gliding on all the ice. It's been snowing, but unfortunately it's been plus degrees as well. So it's plus degrees during the day and then it snows in the night. So then everything gets really icy and then it just gets very slippery. So it is fun for the kids, but not for me and maybe some people who are older, because obviously it's quite dangerous to walk on. But we now made our way to the supermarket. Now I want to pick up some stuff for dinner, and like I said, we don't make the pyttipanna that we're going to be serving with eggs and bacon. I'm buying it. As you can see, it's called oxpitti, and we are going to go and pick up the rest of the stuff, and then I'll meet you back at home. So now we've come back from the shops, and I'm going to take everything out and then get on with the rest of the details downstairs. I was expecting to get upstairs down as well, but I don't think I'm going to. I think it's just always so much happening on the weekends that I'm not going to be able to get through it all. But so I bought some new glögg. The one we had was old, but what I've done with that one was that I put it in a pan and we're going to cook it so the house smells nice. It's one of the other tips that I have for you. But I bought this one. This is the glögg. This is the alcohol version, but it's very, very little alcohol in it. And then we bought this, which is Julbord. You saw me putting it in the cart in the shop. This is a Christmas string. We have Julbord for Christmas, and then for Easter they slap on a different label and they call it Easter must. So this one I bought for the kids and maybe for us to have for dinner today. What else did I pick up that was maybe interesting? Oh yes, this one. This is called a cheesecake. It's an ostkaka. It's different to what you would consider a cheesecake in England or in the States or generally. But this is ostkaka, Christmas cheesecake. We're going to have this. It's served warm with cream and some raspberry jam or some cloudberry jam. So let's see what I serve it with. I'm not sure. So we've got all this to unpack. I've got a few things. We've just got some potatoes, some basic potatoes and some eggs. So I'm going to unpack all of this and then we are going to just finish up some of the details around in the house. And this is something that I bought. This is caviar. It is something we're going to be having with the potato pancakes that I'm making. And then this is called inlagd sill. This is the pickled herring. One of our friends who's come from Abu Dhabi, he really loves the herring. So that's all he wants to eat while he's here. So we bought him one so he can have his fill of it. He's leaving tomorrow or Monday. Yeah, tomorrow's Monday. So anyway, so these were interesting. I thought I'd show you, very typically Swedish. So we bought those. And then I found Christmas ham. Now you can buy ham like this in packs throughout the year, but during Christmas they put a little tag and they say Christmas ham, and they make it a little bit differently with a little bit of herbs and things like that. So that I bought for us to have on sandwiches throughout the week. When evening comes, and it's not even evening, I think it's 3:10 now, but it's so dark, but it's so beautiful at the same time because the lights come on and the house just takes on a really magical, very calming, very soothing feel. And I absolutely love it. I know a lot of people find it difficult with the dark here in Sweden, but I find it just a perfect mix for me during the winter. And then in the summer, of course, we have such long days, so I have no complaints at all. But having said that, I haven't lived my entire life here in Sweden. I've been here 15 years now, almost, so it's quite some time, but I wanted to just pop by and just tell you that I really love this time of year when it really gets dark quite early. Some of the details that I like to do in the kitchen to make everything look a little bit more classy and expensive is that transfer the glögg, which is our mulled wine here in Sweden, into a nice jug or decanter like this. I'm going to pour all of it in here, then it can sit out on my kitchen table all season long, and then I can just serve my guests as and when they come. So in order to keep everything looking neat and tidy, I'm just going to use a carafe and then just pour everything in here slowly. And like I said, I had some old glögg that I had from last year. I don't throw it away. I keep it and then I use it for a simmer pot. So that's what we're going to go do next. Instead of water, I just use the old mulled wine, which really gives off such a lovely smell in the house. So this is what it looks like. Then I will just add it to the table here. So this can stay out all Christmas long. It's a little tray. You want everything nice and tidy when you're talking about details. I have a drawer here that everything can go in. Anything miscellaneous goes in here, and then when I have time, I sort everything out. Just to give it a little festive touch, this is the ribbon that I bought at, where was it? At Tiamu. I'm just going to tie a very simple bow here. So this section is looking very festive with the red ribbon there, and then my mulled wine, and I'm going to light this candle here But as you can see, I've just made everything look a little bit more neater, a little bit more festive. Got a couple of candles to put in, like I said, and that section is done. So I picked this up at the shop. It's called Yule Scum. I wanted to add it to my sweet tray that you saw earlier on that I did before I went shopping. But I found these and my kids and my husband liked them and I wanted to add them to the table, especially because today I'm trying to create, make sure that all the details are in place downstairs for Christmas. Right now, I want to get the simmer pot going. So into this pot, I've got my old glug. So this is what the old glug looks like. It's a little bit musty. It's not very good to drink. Into that, I'm going to be cutting some mandarin or oranges. I'm just going to cut some slices. I've seen people do this all the time and on YouTube, so this is really nothing new to you, but really the tip and takeaway is if you are a family that has mulled wine, or if you buy mulled wine and you want to keep it for next year, don't throw it away, use it as in your simmer pot. So I'm going to give all of this a snip. Mandarin that I cut, clementine, as they like to call it. Then we're going to add some cloves, quite a lot of cloves, and I'm going to add some cinnamon into it as well. And then I'm just going to put it on. Well, I've got some rosemary here, the rosemary plant, why not? Just took a snippet of the rosemary, and then we'll just let everything cook down, warm up, and the house is going to smell lovely. As you can see, this is looking really pretty, very festive. It's already starting to smell, but I'm going to increase the heat a little bit more, and I'm just going to let that simmer and do its thing. So now we're in the sitting room trying to sort out this mess. We're having some people over for dinner, like I mentioned, so we're going to lay the table together. So for the detail that I want to create here and make everything look really a little bit more luxe, is I wanted to try and use this tablecloth that I bought from Tiamu. It's a velvet tablecloth. It's velvet on one side and it's got like a sort of satin finish on the other side. But we're going to put this on the dining table and see how it looks, and try and create a little bit more of an elegant tablescape. We're not having that many people over for dinner today, but let's put the tablecloth on the dining table and see how that works. Okay, so let's add this to the dining table. I'm glad I bought it. It's very luxe looking, like I said. So it's perfect for my dining table. The Christmas vibe that we have here. Touch. Yes, I found these paper serviettes at Hemtex, where I talk about them all the time. During the sale, or was it Christmas? I can't remember, but I love them. And I have quite a few of them, and they're so beautiful. Look at them. Sort of vintage print on it of a Christmas tree. I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to use these on the place settings because So what we're going to do now is we're going to grate the potatoes. So we're making a potato pancake and it calls for grated potatoes. I've already started grating them. I'm grating them on a box grater, but you could use a food processor as well. This is the first time for me making them. You have another version of this where you make a pancake batter and you add the potatoes into the pancake batter, but this is just potatoes and I think a little salt, pepper and some onions. My husband has the recipe, he's on his way home. So I'm going to grate all of this and put it into a bowl and have it ready for him.
Yeah, and then the lemon.
Skål, skål, skål.
Oh.
The cold makes it.
Alcoholic.
Yeah. No.
Deep, 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 tap.
Skål.
Skål.
Eller vänta. Skål. Vänta, skål.
Skål, skål, skål.
Skål.
What was that? You and Oscar look alike a little.
Really? I think
So this is a Swedish sweet. It's licorice Jägermeister sweet that our friends have bought. I wanted to just talk you through this. As you can see, the white stuff on it is salt. It's very, very salty, but we love it here in Sweden. And we cut a small piece and gave it to our friend from Abu Dhabi to try, and he didn't like it at all. Then it was time to serve our cheesecake with some cream and the cranberry jam that I'd made. It was a really great way to round off dinner.
Alltså jag tycker jag såg någon video då.
Du kan
För länge sedan.
subscriba.
Ja.
From your followers.
Subscribe and like.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yes. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. And what else?
So we've finally wound down for the night. I am going to end the vlog here. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me. Love filming these vlogs, especially this time of the year. I hope you enjoyed looking at all the food that I made and found that interesting. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I will see you next weekend when we are going to go to a place called Skansen. It's an outdoor museum here. I have some videos on it. I will leave a link in the description box below if you can't wait for that video to come out, or if you're interested in Skansen, but it is definitely a must here in Sweden. And with all that said, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.